Let's start with day 3, that is cell and cell division. So, cell is the structural and functional unit of life. It was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 and he published his work in his book Mitochondria. Cytology is the study of cell. Unicellular organisms are those which contains only single cell. Multicellular organisms are made up of more than one cell. Acellular organism does not contain any cell, for example viruses. Cell theory was given by Saichen and Schwann 1838 and in 1839 respectively. Virchow in 1855 said that new cells originate from pre-existing cells. There are two types of cells, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotic cell does not contain true nucleus, they lack well-defined nuclear membrane. They contain 70S ribosomes, whereas eukaryotes have well-defined nuclear membrane, true nucleus, and they have 80S ribosomes. Larger cell is known as ostrich egg. Smallest cell is PPLO, pleuropneumonia-like organism or mycoplasma. Longest cell is nerve cell. Neurons, cell membrane and cytoplasm are living part of the cell. Then animal and plant cell. Animal and plant cell are differentiated. First point is that plant cells have cell wall but animal cell don't have cell wall. Plant cell have cell wall that is made up of cellulose. Plant cells contain bigger vacuoles, animal contains smaller vacuoles. Plant cell contains plastid which is absent in animal cells. Animal cells have lysosome which are absent in plant cells. Cell wall, it is present in plants, fungi and bacteria, absent in animals. In plants, it is made up of cellulose. In fungi, it is made up of chitin. In bacteria, peptidoglycan. Ripening of fruit is done with the help of ethylene. Ethylene is a gaseous hormone of plants. Plasma membrane, also known as cytoplasmic membrane, plasmalemma. It is selectively permeable in nature. Singer and Nicholson gave fluid mosaic model for this. Osmosis and diffusion. So osmosis, they both had movement from higher concentration to the lower, but when semi-permeable membrane is required, this is termed as osmosis, and when it is not required, it is termed as diffusion. Mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell. It is semi-autonomous, but because it contains its own DNA. It is double membrane body. Cristia is known as the fold of mitochondria, and internal and external layers of mitochondria are separated with the help of perimitochondrial. Endoplasmic reticulum is known as endoskeleton of the cell. It helps in protein synthesis. It is of two types, smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the movement and detoxification. Ribosomes are known as protein factories. They are of two types, 70S and 80S. 70S is present in prokaryotes and 80S in eukaryotes. 70S has two units, 30 and 50. 30 is the smallest and 50 is the largest. Similarly, 80S has 40 and 60. 40 is the smallest and 60 is the largest. Lysosome is known as digestive bag, suicidal bag. It consists of hydrolytic enzymes. Golgi body was discovered by Camillo Golgi and it helps in development and making of lysosomes. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are present in both plants and animals. Outer layer is known as tonoplast. Plastids are present in only plants. They are of three types, leucoplast, chloroplast, chromoplast. Leucoplast is white in color, transparent, green, chromo colorful. Tomato has a pigment known as lycopene and carrot has a pigment known as carotene. Chloroplast is double membrane structure and semi-autonomous since it also has its own DNA. Nucleus is brain of the cell. Nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. DNA, RNA. So first we'll talk about nucleotides. Nucleotides contains phosphate, base and sugar. Nucleoside contains only base and sugar but not the phosphate. Now RNA. RNA is ribonucleic acid. RNA is of three types, mRNA, tRNA, rRNA. mRNA is messenger RNA, T is transfer RNA, R is ribosomal RNA. the smallest RNA is known as tRNA. RNA has 4 bases: adenine, cytosine, guanine, and uracil. Now DNA. DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid. DNA contains 4 bases, namely adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Now, adenine and guanine are known as purine bases, whereas cytosine, thymine, and uracil are known as pyrimidine bases. Now, if we talk about the difference in both, the difference is that DNA contains T, that is thymine, but RNA contains U, that is uracil. Now, cell division. There are 2 types of cell divisions, either mitosis or meiosis. So mitosis is known as somatic division, meiosis is known as reductional division. Mitosis occurs in somatic cell and reproductive cell, but meiosis occurs only in reproductive cell. Mitosis takes less time, meiosis takes more time. Crossing over and pairing is done in meiosis, not in mitosis. In mitosis, 2 daughter cells are formed and they both are diploid in nature. But in meiosis, 4 daughter cells are formed and they all are haploid in nature. So now there are 4 steps in cell division: PMAT, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So in prophase, it's the first and the largest phase. In meta, spindle fibers are formed and they are settled in middle of the plate. Ana is the smallest and telo in this opposite direction is being formed. Prophase are further divided into 5 categories: leptotene, zygotene, patrotene, diplotene, and dikinesis. So in leptotene, uncoiling is done. In zygotene, pairing is done. Patrotene, crossing over. Diplotene, trismata are formed. And dikinesis, complete cell division has occurred. Mitosis happens once, but in meiosis, it happens twice. So for meiosis, you will say meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Similarly, PMAT 1 and PMAT 2.